or two to raise your hand with any questions, comments, victories, and we'll get started with David here. Hey, David.
Hello. Hi, Mike. Welcome back.
Thank you.
And
Appreciate it.
I have two questions for you, please.
Okay.
One, could you please tell me what paperwork you or your sellers take to the salesman take to the house to meet with a prospective buyer who has a good chance that they're going to want the house that they're looking at that time. I'm just curious what paperwork they take with them.
They always take a application with them, and that's it. We don't do any paperwork until the application has been accepted.
Let's see, is that application? Do you know if that application is amongst the paperwork on the website?
No, because they are
states
individual to the RMLO. So our RMLO gives us the application he wants. So we give that one out. So if you use an RMLO, you should have an application from them.
Okay, the RMLO's application. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So do you fill it out with them there, or do you have them take it away with them?
No, they usually fill it out with them there and get a deposit on the house right then and there.
So fill it out and get a deposit. Okay, at that time. All right. Great. Okay.
Sometimes they'll bring them back to the office if the people are nervous about giving them, $1,000 deposit.
Yes.
They'll bring them back to the office, show them we're legitimate, and they'll do it there.
Okay. All right. That's the answer I needed. Second question is, okay, you're getting calls. You're getting calls in on a house that you have for sale with owner financing, and inevitably, at some point, a realtor is going to call you. A real estate agent is going to call you.
Oh yeah.
and hey, I've got someone who I think would be perfect for this property. I know he has, the down payment. And do you say thank you very much? I appreciate that. Go away. But what? How do you politely and judiciously handle that call?
So let me ask you, what have you done in the past?
I explain that we sell our houses ourselves, and that we have not built in a commission. If there were a way that they could get a commission on top of what we're doing from their clients, that doesn't bother us, but I haven't thrown out a carrot and said, well, we could pay $300 or something. That seems like it would be insulting, and it might get them into trouble.
So I don't do that either. We do the same thing. We sell them all ourselves. We're not really interested in working with a realtor because they have a hard time getting on the same page as us. Here's what we expect, and I'll tell them, they can do an inspection, but I'm not fixing anything. The house is for sale as is, no ands, ifs, or buts about it. We close through an attorney's office, not a title company. We give them kind of the rundown on the whole thing. And if they get like queasy about it at all, I say, this just isn't the showing. This just isn't the property for you to sell. I appreciate your time.
Yes. Got it. Okay. Sounds like I'm pretty much doing what your approach is too. Just
okay. It's pretty much the same thing. When you were saying it was like, that's exactly what I do. Yeah, I have to be even a little bit more careful about it because they'll start asking why it's not on the market and all that stuff. So, we just politely tell them it probably isn't the right one for them.
Yes. That's what I'm telling my all cash buyer offers also. I've got, I guess I should mention it. I have one property that I don't normally mess with the price range, but this is a property I've got up for sale with owner financing for $185,000, and it might be $5,000 more than some people might say it should be in that market, but with owner financing, that's usually not a big deal. But at $185,000, unless they're coming in with $50,000 for a down payment, that's going to be a very large monthly payment. By very large being close to $1,800, $2,000 a month when you put in everything. And in our market, that's people who can do that quite often can go buy a house traditionally. They don't need owner financing. So almost everybody who's come into the house is like the house. And I've had at least 3 people who are pre-qualified at the bank who I had to explain why we don't sell to people who have bank financing. But because it's in the higher priced area, it's not in my $80,000 to $120,000 sweet spot. It's making me wonder if maybe I should just bite the bullet and accept one of these pre-qualified people and let the house go, or if I should just hang in there and wait for the right person to come along.
I've waited for the right person, and it's never let me down. I always find the right person. I start getting worked up over one, and then all of a sudden, it lands, and you get the right person. It's just sometimes you got to remember, patience is the key.
Thanks. Okay, that helps. But I would like to. I think I have your voice in the back of my head saying, wait for the right person to come along.
Just on the same lines as that, I had a warehouse up for sale. Up for rent. It's on that truck parking that we've been working on, and it's a 6,000 square foot warehouse. It's pretty big. And we had it up for rent. We've had people come by, and lots and lots of people come by. And we had 4 or 5 different people that wanted it, but I just didn't feel good about them. Nothing made me feel like they're the one. And so we waited a little bit longer, and man, the right guy came along. He's a DOT certified. He had great reference, all that stuff. And that's just another time where I've waited and tried to get the right person, and it's worked out.
Great story. That's wonderful.
I think we passed on 4 or 5 different people for that one.
Yes, and you're kicking yourself as they leave, saying, "Am I crazy? Am I blowing this?" But you stuck to your guns, and that's what works. I will follow your lead. Thank you so much.
All right.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Talk to you soon.